On a quiet morning, as the sun slowly rose over the village, an old farmer stood in his field. The earth was cracked and dry. Rain had not come for many months. His crops were dying. His family was hungry. His animals were weak. He stared at the barren land for a moment. A small voice inside him said, "This land is dead. You cannot bring it back to life." But he stepped forward anyway. He picked up his shovel. His hands were worn and tired. His back hurt from years of working. But he began to dig. He dug wells to store water when it came. He cleared the rocks from the soil. He worked all day under the hot sun. His body ached. His hands bled. His face burned from the heat. But he did not stop. He did not complain. He just kept digging. Other farmers walked past him. Some had given up and left their fields. Some sat idle, waiting for rain that might never come. Some looked at him and said, "Old man, why do you work so hard for nothing? The land is dead." But the farmer did not listen to them. He kept working. His family watched him. His wife was worried. His children were hungry. But they saw their father's determination, and they stayed silent. For weeks, he worked alone. Nobody helped. Nobody encouraged him. But something inside the old farmer refused to accept defeat. He planted seeds even though the earth was dry. He watered them with water he carried from far away. Every morning he woke early. Every night he worked late. He was exhausted, but he continued. One seed, one row, one day at a time. That was enough. Months passed. The sun climbed higher in the sky each day. His legs trembled from the constant work. His body ached in ways he had never felt before. The field still looked mostly empty and dead. Every part of him wanted to lie down and rest forever, but he pushed himself forward. He refused to give up. He stayed disciplined. One hole dug, one seed planted, one prayer spoken. That was all he could do. Then one day, something changed. A young boy from the village came to the field. He watched the old farmer working. The boy did not speak at first. He just watched and understood. Then, without a word, he stepped in and began to help. He carried water. He helped dig. He planted seeds beside the farmer. Moments later, another villager came. Then another. Then the farmer's wife joined. Then his children. No speeches were made. No instructions were given. Just understanding of what needed to be done. Just compassion for an old man who refused to give up. Together, they worked. Together, they pulled against the weight of drought and despair. Together, they struggled through the dry earth and the hot days. The field began to change. Green shoots appeared. Plants grew taller. The work became lighter because they shared it. And finally, as the sky softened into evening light, after months of relentless work, the field transformed. Green crops covered the land. Vegetables grew heavy on their vines. Fruits hung from trees. The earth that was dead had come back to life. It was not perfect. It was not as much as good years brought, but it was real. Food for today, hope for tomorrow, survival for many seasons to come. The old farmer stood in his field, dusty and exhausted, but smiling, with tears in his eyes. Not because the work had been easy, not because the drought had ended, not because others had done the work for him, but because he learned something eternal and true, that perseverance in the face of impossible odds can create miracles, that small, consistent efforts, when shared with a community, can transform what seems dead into something alive, that giving up is easy, but fighting is what builds strength. So remember this: when life gets hard, do not give up. Start now. Do one thing today. Plant one seed. Help one person. Write one page. Just do it. Do not wait. Do not quit. Your small action today becomes big change tomorrow. You can do this. Start now.